Richard Dott talks about the not mind. That's the place where we go where we're not thinking, or at least not much, for just even if you just do it for a few minutes at a time and you just even a few seconds and you're just in that place where you're just so relaxed and there's no all these thoughts, all these worries, all these fears. You're just not thinking. Richard Dott said, if we can even get into that for even a few moments, the universe will work its magic. And even Abraham Hicks talks about that. That she puts it, even if you, she puts it in states, like if you want to have like joy or something, or whatever state you want to be in, if you could feel into that, it's more a feeling thing. Of course, our thoughts are attached to feelings, but even if it's just a feeling thing, if you wanted joy, what what would you feel if you were joyful? What memories or thoughts would pertain to that to get you into that place? And and it just flows then. If you could just and Abraham Hicks said, even if you could just do that for 17 seconds, that it would lead to other thoughts that would flow into that. Of course, Richard Dott is talking about something else a little bit more removed from that, and he's talking about not being in the mode where you're not even thinking. And it's harder for most of us to get into that. Of course, I used to, years ago, meditate like 3 or 4 times a day, and I used to do that type of meditation where I would just get to that place, focus either on one thing or a spot, and then it would be like poof, and I wasn't even thinking at all after a while. And I would just either see visions or hear things, or I would just be feeling really blissful. Of course, that's the really nice, if you can really get into that, that would be great. But Abraham Hicks is talking about even if you can just get into a certain feeling for 17 seconds, and then it can work into more and more and more. As a matter of fact, I even have a story to that. I wanted to test Abraham Hicks at one time. Well, it's not that I didn't believe it, but I wanted to see how true that was for me, because we always get into the, well, it may work for someone else, but maybe it won't work for me. So I wanted, so it was like several years ago. And I remember I was looking out the window, it was in the morning, and I was, I wanted to do laughter, and to think of something funny for laughter. And I was looking out the window, and I remember thinking, okay, what do I recall of laughter? What, trying to think of something funny to start it out with for the 17 seconds. And I remember thinking, okay, this is ludicrous. And and I just started laughing, uncontrollably laughing. And I was looking out, of course, the window, and I saw a bird, and the bird was looking at me like, because I imagined it thought, what? And that made me laugh even more. And then I was thinking, oh my God, this works. It works. I was, I don't even know how long I was doing it, but I know that for that entire morning, I was filled with laughter. I was happy. And I wanted to read something. This is from Kevin L. McHale again, from his book I was reading, with one quote a day. And today's quote was, "It shall be the words you speak to yourself, that your own thoughts, which will determine your destiny. Let the thoughts be thoughts of ambition, and thoughts about ways to make things happen. Let these thoughts be thoughts of persistence in spite of obstacles. And obstacles are really just illusions anyway. Let these thoughts be a knowing that you shall be victorious in the end, which will never really end, and then you shall move assuredly into this inevitable outcome of victory. This life is your story. You are the hero who wins in the end, but also the hero who faces ups and downs and all manner of battles and challenges, yet wins in the end. Which brings me to one time a vivid dream I had, where in the dream I was with someone and I really loved him. Someone I don't really know, but just someone. I know it was symbolic. And we were in this room, and I woke up, he wasn't in there, and I remember, and it felt like it was like my twin soul or something like, and I remember thinking, where am I when I woke up? It's like I had that amnesia. And then he walks in, and I didn't recognize him. And then as I ran from the room, the veil had ripped, which is also symbolic for the starting of the awakening. But then it was like lifetimes later that I saw him again, and I had a feeling about him. And I know that even though the story seems sad because I was the participant but the observer as well, like I was seeing all these stories of myself, that in the end, I was the hero who wins, that it will be a happy ending, which we never really have an ending, right? So that reminded me of that dream I had, where it was really symbolic for, even though at the time I thought it really was just a twin flame thing, but it was really just a story, a symbol in general that's talking about that no matter how our story seems to be, we always will win. No matter what, we'll always win. And that is the happiest thing yet. And I will end that on that note. Wish you a wonderful Sunday ahead, a wonderful week ahead too, and over and out.